Welcome to day 126. We are using the Children's Bible, which has 365 stories for every single day this year. So day 126 is called Hide and Seek. It can be found in 1 Samuel 24 verses to 26. David and his men moved from one hideout to another. Someone always gave news of his whereabouts to Saul, and the king and his soldiers would chase after him. While David was lying low in dry desert country, Saul and his men surrounded him. An urgent message arrived in the nick of time, warning the king of a Philistine attack. Saul and his men hurried away, and David was saved. David and his men moved to the hills. They were pitted with caves in which they could hide. A spring of fresh water gushed into the ravine below. It was hard for Saul and his fully armed men to move up and down the hills as nimbly as David and his few lightly armed men. One day David and his men crouched at the back of a deep cave where they were camping. They could hear Saul's men coming near. Then Saul himself stepped inside the entrance of the cave. The bright sunlight concealed the shape of the men hidden in the darkness beyond. "Kill him," whispered David's followers. But David shook his head. When the king was not looking, David crept noiselessly forward and cut off part of Saul's long robe with his sword. Then he withdrew quickly into the shadows. Saul left the cave, unaware of what had happened. On a sudden impulse, David raced after him. "Your Majesty," he called after the retreating figure of the king. Saul turned in astonishment, and David bowed low. "You must believe me that I do not want to harm you," David pleaded. "I could have killed you just now, if I had wished. Look," he held up the piece of Saul's robe. Saul was bitterly ashamed, and tears rolled down his cheeks. "I have wronged you," he admitted. "One day I know you will be king. Be kind to my family when that day comes." Then Saul went sadly home. But David knew that in spite of his tears, Saul's feelings towards him had not really changed. The chase would soon begin all over again. What do you think of that? The king's life could have been taken. David is a very honourable man to decide not to kill him, and it could have ended all of his troubles running away from Saul. But God knew when choosing David that David would not cause any harm to his king, and he would rightfully become king at the right time. And I think David knew that. And it's the same with us in all of our situations. God knows the right time and the right place for us to shine in his glory. He knows. And it may not be when we're young. It may be, if we wanted to be an actress, it may not be that we become an actress until we're 50. But that's God's plan. And so we can't mess with his plan, because his plan is perfect, and his plan and his timing is perfect, and everything that he does with us throughout our lives is building us up towards that fame, that celebrity, that situation that we will then be in. And that's the time when we say, when we win an award or we get recognized, we say, this is all God's work. I am just a vessel for God to act through me, to do this charity work, to do whatever it is you do. Whether you be a nurse, whether you're a cleaner, a dustbin man collector, or a dustbin woman collector, it doesn't matter. God has a plan for each and every one of us, and our plans are all very different. Not everybody is going to be in the limelight. Some people need to be in the background. Some people need to be in the middle as planners and organizers. Some people need to be administrators. Some people just need to be mothers or fathers. Some people need to be earning a living doing accounts and all sorts of stuff. And in each of those professions, in each of those realms that we live in, we can do God's work. We can bless people. We can pray for people. We can support people. We can shine the light on God to people that do not know him. And that's why we're put in different situations. We're not all meant to be preachers. We're not all meant to be teachers. We're not all meant to be, celebrities. We are all meant to be there singing God's praises every single day. I hope this helps. God bless.